Russian forces have entered the outskirts of the city of Sievierodonetsk in eastern Ukraine. Kyiv says its troops are battling to hold their position street by street after days of intense shelling. Sievierodonetsk is threatened by Russia's push to capture the whole of the eastern industrial region of Donbass. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says almost all of the city's infrastructure has been destroyed and most buildings damaged. It's feared the city will follow Mariupol and fall into Russian hands.
A city under siege. Sievierodonetsk has been battered by intense shelling for weeks. Now Russian forces have entered the city and fears are growing that it may share Mariupol's fate. Thousands of civilians are thought to still be in the city, the largest in the Luhansk region, still held by Ukraine. According to the mayor, the relentless bombardment has left it impossible to keep track of casualties. With Russia bringing its overwhelming advantage in artillery to bear in its assault on the Donbass, Ukraine is pleading with its allies to provide it with more advanced long-range weapon systems. The US was reportedly considering the move, but President Biden has now thrown that into doubt.
We're not going to send to Ukraine rocket-assisted weapons striking Russia.
But while Ukraine's allies debate, Russia continues to concentrate its firepower in the Donbass. The fighting has reached its maximum intensity, with Russian troops firing along the entire line of contact and trying to fire artillery deep into our defences. At the same time, the assault is continuing in several directions. For now at least, Ukrainian forces continue to fight on in the face of the Russian onslaught.
Well, DW correspondent Matthias Bullinger is in Kyiv. He gave me an update on Russian gains in the Donbass.
Yeah, so we have just returned from a 10-day trip there, and during that time we've really seen the situation getting worse and worse. The city of Sievierodonetsk is almost inaccessible for days now. We know that thousands of people are trapped there. There's only one bridge operating, and this bridge is constantly shelled, and the Russians are now advancing is probably something that was expected, because they have really put a lot of firepower onto conquering this city. They have really concentrated troops. They have been shelling the city indiscriminately, and most of the buildings are destroyed. There is a sister city which sits just on the other side of the river, Lysychansk, and we were there a few days ago, and you could see that all over the city of Sievierodonetsk. It's a little bit higher there, so you could look over. Everywhere there was smoke, and this is the tactics they are using now. It's a scorched earth tactics. They raise everything with artillery. They have a lot of artillery. They have a lot of ammunition, and then they march in. The question is whether this will give them really a strategic gain. That's another question. But it looks like they are attaining their goals when they really concentrate their firepower this way, that they raise the city and then they march in.
Right, because we've seen in the past how Ukrainian forces have beaten Russian forces back, but now with all this massive fire turned on the region, things appear to be turning in Russia's favour.
There, yes, Russia has more firepower, and Russia has probably concentrated more troops there, although we don't know the exact number. But that means also that in other regions, Russia has not the same concentration of troops, and we are seeing Ukrainian advances. We've seen some near Kharkiv. They're stalled now. They're not making much progress there. But now in the south, Ukraine has made some progress towards the city of Kherson. They're still far from the city itself, but there are some advances there. So in one place, tides turn in the favor of Russia. In other places, they might still turn in favor of Ukraine. So this is not a decision yet. Ukraine has also been able to hold back Russia in the Donbass, in other places that are strategically important. Russia has been trying, instead of marching into the city directly, to cut it off, to surround it. This has not worked so far. They have come pretty close to that, but then they were beaten back by Ukraine. So everything is still not decided there.